Welcome to the Rue Dits and Loz podcast, kept hot by Ream. You can listen to this podcast anywhere you like, even in the shower. Ream, Australia's favourite hot water.
Get all the news you need.
104.7 Triple M.
Hello, Adelaide.
No one knows Adelaide like these guys. Triple M Breakfast with Rue Dits and Loz.
Overnight news.
Making news, local MP Frank Pangello, good bloke and often controversial though, has put it to Parliament that he wants to age the legal age for smoking, raise the age to 21.
Right, okay.
Now, can
What
that
is
work
it
or
now?
not? I don't. Well, this is I don't even know.
I thought when I was growing up, it was 16, but you couldn't buy them. So you could get caught smoking at 16 and you wouldn't be
Yeah.
in trouble, but you just couldn't purchase them until you were 18.
So I presume he does mean that, walking into a shop and saying, "Can I have a packet of fags?" You've got to be 21.
You probably have to be 18 now, I'd say. Do you know what I was thinking yesterday? Don't you think it's a bit weird that vapes are you can get a prescription for vapes to get off smoking? That's the whole point of them now. So it's like you
okay.
can only smoke them with a script
Right.
because they're making them
so there is
illegal.
a point to them.
But isn't it weird that smoking's legal and that's the thing that you've got to get off? But you don't need a script for
This is a
smoking.
very good point.
You
I
need
know.
a script for the thing that helps you get off smoking.
Yeah.
That's
a
a
bit
bit
crazy.
weird to me.
Yeah.
But Hamish made a good point. He wants to raise the age for smoking and lower the urinals. Is that him?
That was pretty
Yeah.
right.
So it's just up and down like a bride's night.
He's all over the shop.
Yeah, he's all over the shop. Did you hear about Justin Timberlake?
What's he done?
Got caught DUI.
Oh, no.
Or DWI in the US. I don't know why they call it that. But yeah,
DWI.
driving with info. I don't know.
Yeah.
God, it's the least of their worries over there. It's whether they use a W or a U. But yeah, he was driving through the Hamptons,
Oh, of course.
glassy-eyed, swerving in his BMW, and he was He was twice the legal limit. So I don't know. That's kind of shocked me a little bit. He seems like a bit of a goody two shoes, Justin Timberlake.
Drinking. The Chargers.
Oh, Sam.
The Chargers.
Our sound man, Sammy, just having a bit of fun.
I was hoping it would never end. What's going on with the Bermuda Triangle of zits?
Oh,
Dits?
now, a doctor, this is also out of New York, believe it or not, Mount Sinai, all our news coming from New York State this morning. He's called it the Bermuda Triangle of your face. And if you hold your thumb and pointing finger on each corner of your mouth, index finger, thumb, index finger, but your pointing finger, put at the top of your nose, so there's a triangle that you've just formed.
Right, so your pointer goes in between your eyebrows,
That's it.
your middle finger on one side of your lips and your
So
thumb on the other.
that triangle that you've just formed, he's called it the Bermuda Triangle of your face.
Yeah.
And do not squeeze zits in that zone. You can die.
What?
Yeah, I know. And I've read this article. Are you serious? He's called it the cavernous sinus thrombosis syndrome.
Pardon?
Yeah, you can squeeze. You can squeeze so hard that you block blood going to your brain, and you'll die.
Well,
I must have been near death many
I know.
times as an adolescent because I was zit faced and.
Oh, were you? Did you? I had shocking
when
acne.
the prefect's dance was coming up, I had to get rid of the zits, and otherwise no one would dance with me.
Oh.
And I attacked them with vigour.
Yeah.
I've
done some serious damage.
Oh.
I mean, even to this day, I have the innate ability to turn a tiny pore into an open wound in about sort of 4 minutes flat. It's incredible.
Yeah. All right. Hey, and just finally, there are jobs. If you're looking for a job, Loz, in your spare time, weekends, Tasmania has opened up job applications. There are 10 odd jobs they're looking for. Among them, a wombat walker, a cave conductor.
A wombat walker?
Yeah, these are all unpaid, by the
is a
way,
cave
but
conductor?
you've got to go and work for a few days. They will give you free travel, hotel, food. You'll get memorabilia for your stay as well. But these are just some of the jobs on offer down in Tassie at the moment, if you're keen.
What's a cave conductor?
No idea. You'd probably have to do cave tours or something.
Oh, right,
Do you know
okay.
your stalagmites from your stalactites?
I don't.
Do you know the rule? Do you know how you remember?
How?
Stalactites hang tight to the ceiling.
There you go.
They're hanging on. And the others, the ones on the ground, might one day reach the ceiling.
Right.
I'm so glad I've shared that with you.
I feel really
All right?
secure now that I know
could
that.
go and do this job.
I think the world's
I could be
most
a
boring man might
cave
have a
conductor.
really good time being a cave.
Triple M. It's time for your favourite game. Loz's Wheelie Bin of Fortune.
Well, listening to Triple M at about 1:30 yesterday afternoon, Jason from Hallett Cove called in. This is what happened.
I reckon in your wheelie bin is an empty bottle of Cotty's Cooler Lime Cordial. Yes.
Mate, you're right.
You're kidding me.
I'm not.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh,
You've
my God.
absolutely won.
Oh, that's
You are
awesome.
a winner.
They're with us
Oh.
now, Jason and Casey. Good morning.
Morning, Dix.
Morning.
Morning, Loz. How are you?
Can you believe it? How confident were you?
I was fairly confident,
Yeah.
but still had that doubt in my mind. But I was just so glad that they picked up the phone call. Yeah, Loz ended up coming on the phone and telling me it was the correct guess.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
Because it was mayhem. It was bedlam. Because I don't know why. We keep giving clues out because we want people to guess it. But then when someone did, we were like, oh, my
panicked.
God, it happened.
Oh, no.
And it happened on Molly's shift. And she was like, what's going on? What do we do? So I get a call. I'm in bloody IKEA. I don't know what to do. So, but we were so chuffed for you, mate, because
Yeah.
you really figured it out. Like, you knew every single clue. So,
yeah, Google's a
So
godsend.
when did you know? What was the clue that you went, yep, it's definitely that?
Groove and the Moo. So I put that together with 1927 because I Googled what happened in 1927 and Cotty's was founded then.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Lime Cordial played at Groove and the Moo. And then I put
Is that a
those two
band, is
together.
it?
Yeah, it's a band.
You kidding?
Yeah.
Called
Yeah.
Lime Cordial.
Yeah. That's why when I said Groove and the Moo was a clue, I went, that could send it over the edge. But nobody put the two things together. And I think because of the way all the clues work, people were getting bogged down in Japan, first of all. They thought it was all like some Japanese thing and chocolate. They just couldn't
Well, I
couldn't
must
get
admit,
past
I
chocolate.
thought it was a Japanese prisoner of war.
Yeah. It's still in
Number
there.
one, I went World War One.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Japan.
green. I thought it was wearing khaki or
Yeah,
something. You know.
yeah.
And Japan, I thought, yeah. Now, Casey, was this a team effort? Tell us what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, so when the 1927 clue came out, Jason messaged me. He was like, I know it, like, I swear, like, I've got the answer. And he was telling me, like, everything that related to the clues and
Yeah.
what he thought. And then there was just a couple that we weren't sure of. The floods, the 2022 floods, and the ages 3 and up, that we couldn't quite link them.
So how do they come into it in the end?
So do you want, I can go through all the clues if you want. Can you figure it out? Have you figured out how 22 floods comes in?
Well, Lime Cordial played at a flood relief event. So,
Okay.
yeah, we linked that up afterwards.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ages 3 and up, when you look on like the Woolies website for Cotty's Cordial, in the warning section it says that the cap isn't suitable for children under the ages of 3.
Yeah,
Oh.
so that's it. So the 2022 floods was actually a little bit more obscure than that. It was so Lismore was hit really badly by the 2022 floods, and that's where Cotty's was founded.
Oh, wow.
So that was deep because that was an early one. You know, I was trying to be really aloof there. Let's go through the clues.
Yeah.
Just so that everyone listening has a bit of peace
Correct,
of
yeah.
mind. So first clue was unoccupied, empty, which is, we've
Yep.
got the Cotty's thing in front of us.
Okay.
It's empty. There's nothing left in it. Japan, Cotty's is owned by Japanese company Asahi, which you definitely figured that one out. As I just said, the 2022 floods happened in Lismore. Chocolate, Cotty's used to be owned by Cadbury.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that was, and that's why people kept getting all confused about
Right.
chocolate. They thought it was a chocolate wrapper, but I sort of actually told people, I was like, it's not as obvious as you think, but that didn't help. Ages 3 and up, as you said, on the bottle. Number one, it's their number one selling flavour.
Right.
Groove and the Moo, Lime Cordial, played at Groove and the Moo. And 1927 was the year that Cotty's was founded, and then obviously the colour green. If you can't figure that out, then you never had a chance.
Well, I kid you, there are people like me that don't think lateral. I had zero. Every clue that came up, I still just looked blank and went, no idea.
Yeah, I was
So-
the same until the 1927
Yeah.
clue, and that's when it started the ball rolling.
All right, now we believe it's a big year coming up.
Yeah, we're getting married in November this year.
Right, so
So,
12.5 grand comes in handy.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a few extra drinks on the bar tab, I think.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Have you got a honeymoon sorted?
Yeah, we're going to the Maldives and Singapore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
How beautiful.
the money will give us a few special events, I think.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It couldn't
That's
have gone to
great.
a more deserving couple. So
Yeah,
I'm
well
really,
done.
really happy
Do you
for
think a lot of people knew? Like, I don't know, were your friends talking about it? Do you reckon that sort of people had caught on? Or?
Yeah, I was worried a lot of other people knew
Yeah.
the answer. So
Yeah.
I was getting frustrated when I wasn't getting through.
Yeah.
But I was lucky that there were a few incorrect guesses and got lucky in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like redundant, but 0488851047. Did you guess it as well? Because I would like to know how many people picked up on it and just couldn't
Yeah.
get through.
Yeah.
Yeah, were my clues too obvious? You
Yeah.
know, you never know. But anyway,
Yeah.
congratulations, guys. And
Yeah,
I
we're
am
so happy for you. It's great.
So happy
No,
for
thank
you.
you
Good
very
luck with
much.
the wedding
Appreciate
and
it.
have a great honeymoon. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well done.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
it's
Jason
been
and Casey.
an incredible couple of weeks. $12,700 there. Give it away to Jason. And it's all thanks to our main sponsor there. Massive thanks to Eckermans, South Australia's
Eckermans.
Yeah.
largest and most trusted team of conveyancers. Make sure you head to eckermans.com.au.
The Triple M Couples Cup. The couples who know the most about each other
I know you so well.
will reach the peak of Mount Lofty House and be crowned Couples Cup champion. Cozy winter escapes await at Mount Lofty Estate. Warmth, luxury and relaxation. mountloftyhouse.com.au.
Oh, good morning. This is exciting, Loz. Who have we got with us today?
We've got Sarah and Lee, and I just want to know how often you get the Sarah Lee joke about the dessert.
Actually, that is the first time.
That's the first time.
There
That
you
is
go.
the
Me?
first time it has happened.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
really.
nice
All right.
little sweet
She's
treat.
quick,
There you
this
go.
one.
Now, Loz, please paint a mental picture for us. This is the best, most unique dressed couple we've had in. It's fair to say.
Thank you.
If the colour pink was a person,
Yeah,
it would be Sarah.
that's right.
You look incredible. Your boots are like metallic pink, sparkly. You've got pink hair. You've got pink glass. You're incredible pink lipstick.
Yeah.
Lee's got a velvet sort of like purple suit on.
I'd expect a circus ringmaster to wear
Yeah, yeah, and a gold
that. And a,
chain.
gold, and a fob watch. My
You're
goodness.
kidding me? Does that
Bringing
tell
them
the
back,
time?
Guys, bringing them back. Yeah,
Oh.
100%. I'm bringing them back. These things are awesome. I love
Very,
them.
very nice.
Very, very cool.
smartly
Just
dressed.
missing a monocle,
All
I
right,
think.
now, a bit about yourselves, and we're going to find out a lot more in just a moment, but how long have you been a couple?
So officially, we've been a couple for 2 months.
What do you mean
Oh.
officially?
So we're in a situationship for about 8.
We have been messing around.
Messing around.
For
Messing
some
around.
Having fun, as it
time,
were.
but like only officially dating each other the past couple months.
Okay, but do you feel like you know each other pretty well? You've sort of had an intense sort of
I think
bonding.
so. I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Try
very
that
loved
far.
up. They're sitting
Find
there
out.
holding hands. And
Yeah,
can't
very
stop
nice.
touching each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So the
Yeah.
situationship, who was the one who said, I mean, I'm just asking you straight up personal questions now, but who was the one who was like, who had the courage to go, let's make this official?
Oh, me.
Sarah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was unsure, and it took one of his friends sitting down
Yeah.
and being like, "Dude, stop
Yeah,
being such
come
a
on.
stop being such an F word."
Yeah.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake
you
up.
And
son.
then
Wake
it's
up
like,
to yourself, that's it, yeah.
Oh, I
Now,
love it.
what's your accent, Sarah?
I get that all the time. I am Adelaide born and raised. My mum's English though, so
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a mixture in there.
a little bit of a mixture. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm an Adelaide.
Adelaideans
All right.
get that though.
I get that all the
'Cause
time.
we're so posh, you know.
I know. I get
Yeah.
people be like, "You sound so snobby." I'm like, "I'm not."
No, that's not at all.
Lee, I'm very impressed with something you've just told us off air. Tell us a bit about how you spend your spare time.
So I have a full replica Iron Man suit from the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And so I do kids' parties, but also do all the charity events here in Adelaide that I can get to.
Yeah, brilliant.
We do the Women's and Children's Hospital Superheroes Week. And we just did the Hearts Kids up on the weekend as well at Golden
Nice.
Grove. So
And the
yeah.
kids would love that suit. That would just be so much
Well,
fun.
It's a full
It's
proper
so
replica,
cool.
and it's like it's not like it's a spotlight thing. It's
Yeah.
not metallic. It's not material. It's it's hard and opens, closes, lights up.
Does it fly?
sounds. We're working on that one still.
No, yeah, it does make noises as if it's going to fly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
makes
we can
sense.
You haven't
convince the
taken
kids
off
that
just yet.
it runs up.
But,
but it
yeah, we
doesn't
can convince
fly.
the kids, he's not allowed to fly inside supermarkets. Last time he did it, he broke some windows and got in a lot of trouble. So
There you
Right.
go.
he's not allowed to do
Yeah,
that
smack
anymore.
bum.
Yeah.
And you told us that you actually, out of your own money, you buy kids heaps of presents and things at the hospital. And
Yeah, that's right. Well, you guys actually helped me out big time with that one. So normally I buy like dollies for the girls because they a lot of them have lost their hair
Yep.
with the
Mhm.
chemotherapy and stuff,
Yep.
and just like Lego and stuff for the boys. And I had about $500, so I rang up Ruin and
Yeah,
yourself and
yeah.
this, and Rui said, "I'll match whatever you got," and
Great.
gave me an extra. So I went in there with $1,000,
Nice.
and bought them all presents, and
Oh,
it was a really
good on
good
you.
day. It was it was fantastic. But you guys helped me out a lot.
Oh,
that
that's
day, and it
great.
made a massive
That's
difference.
brilliant.
So, a lot of
All
respect
right,
for you guys.
now who's going to go off into the other studio and answer some questions? Who's going?
Me.
You are. All right,
Hi,
Lee.
baby.
You go and do that, and we'll come back with you and Sarah and
See you
see if we
soon.
can match some answers. Rudits and Loz on Triple M.
The Triple M Couples Cup. The couples who know the most about each other
I know you so well.
will reach the peak of Mount Lofty House and be crowned Couples Cup champion. Cozy winter escapes await at Mount Lofty Estate. Warmth, luxury and relaxation. mountloftyhouse.com.au.
We've got Sarah and Lee with us this morning. Lee's gone off to answer the 10 questions, all right? Are we ready to go?
Yes, we are. And I will just sort of re-establish. You guys were in a situationship for 8 months, but you've been together officially for 2.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take.
It's kind of brand new.
So we'll see how well you know each
Very
other. We've had
shiny.
couples in here and been together for 20 years and they didn't do
Yeah.
so well.
No.
So maybe you'll surprise us. Who knows?
Oh, I hope so.
Okay.
Now I'm nervous.
So question 1, we're going to ask you, Sarah, and then we're going to see if it lines up with the recording that Lee's done.
Okay.
Is Lee more scared of snakes or spiders?
Oh, spiders.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's have a listen.
Am I more scared of snakes or spiders? Have to be spiders.
Is that like a big issue for you, Lee?
It's always an argument who has to go kill it if
I'll
they're in
just,
the house.
I'll throttle a snake, no worries. But it's, spiders, 'cause
joking.
it's when you see them on the wall and you go and you look away and you go back and they're gone.
You're like, where did it go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be
burn the
anywhere.
house down.
No, all right. All right. Who is Lee's celebrity crush?
Oh,
Has he got one?
I don't know, but they're probably brunette.
Okay.
just for the listeners, Sarah has bright pink hair,
Yeah,
so I'm
that's
not
right.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
All right. No one springs to mind?
Megan Fox.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Let's go Megan Fox. Here we go.
Who is my celebrity crush? Angelina Jolie.
Dang,
That's a
I did know
classic.
that. Yeah. I was right about it being brunette.
Can I just say? Hey,
Kind of like
hey,
half a point, right?
She's got nothing on you, though, Sarah.
Yeah, there you go. Where did you two first meet?
Oh, I bet you he said something rude about him swinging his sledgehammer around.
Really?
Yep. It would have been, so he used to be an adult entertainer, and I went into his show one night, and he pulled me up on stage. So we met at the Alpha Men show whilst he was working there.
Are you serious? Now, hang on,
I
hang
am
on, hang
dead
on. Before we get to
serious.
this answer, you entertain kids in the Women's and Children's Hospital. and
Yeah,
at
kids in the
night,
day.
You entertain their parents.
At night.
You've got
He's
everything
just
covered.
a very entertaining man, okay?
You've got both ends of the
Covering all my
covered.
bases, yeah.
Bloody
It's
hell.
got to be entertained too.
What a
How'd your police
nuanced
checks?
man.
Right, let's get to his answer.
Where did we first meet? I was entertaining on stage and for an adult agency, and yep, she loved it.
Righto. Too good.
True that.
Wow.
True that.
Does Lee prefer crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Crunchy.
Okay.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter? I'd say crunchy.
Yeah.
She knew
Good
it.
answer. All right.
Almost nervous to
Might
ask
have-
this one.
Might have, exactly. Might have answered this.
Don't you be nervous and I'll be nervous.
What was Lee's first job?
Working at a pizza joint, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
What was my first job? Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
Toys.
Toys. You keen on your toys?
Toys are you?
I was working them at the same time, but yeah, the Toys R Us one was more exciting.
What's a phrase or expression Lee frequently uses?
I don't think I can say that on radio.
Did you give an answer that you can say on radio, Lee?
Yeah, I did,
Okay.
yeah.
all
Probably like hell yeah.
right. Okay.
All right.
What is a phrase or expression I use frequently? I am invincible.
Okay.
Try and stick to the truth, Lee. if you
Yeah.
can. I think we've answered this one as well. What is Lee's favourite body part of yours?
My butt.
Oh.
Specifically my butt crack at the top.
Oh, whoa.
What is my favourite body part on Sarah's? Be a booty. But actually, like, the top of a bum crack.
So like a plumber's sort of crack when she bends down to empty the dishwasher.
Okay.
Does things to a man.
Okay.
All right.
I
Good to
like
play
how
with.
specific that was. That was detailed. All right. What Hogwarts house would Lee be sorted into?
I reckon you'd be a Hufflepuff. Oh, actually, no. I think Hufflepuff, but I reckon you'd think Slytherin.
Okay.
What Hogwarts house would I be sorted into? Oh, be Slytherin.
Yeah.
So we give that?
I think you're wrong.
I think we do, because I think you gave the answer that you would
All right.
pick,
Yeah.
but then you sort of knew him well enough to know what he would
just
say.
gave the wrong answer.
Yeah.
All right. What food does Lee despise?
Oh, he doesn't like licorice.
Okay.
What food do I despise? Licorice.
Hey, well done.
Wow.
Gee.
Okay, and this one should be easy.
Look this way. This way.
What colour are Lee's eyes?
Brown.
What colour are my eyes? Brown.
There you go. Now, we haven't decided the winner yet. We've still got to finish off over the next couple of days. But just for coming in, we have got a nice prize.
You're off to Mount Lofty just for a high tea, which is a beautiful experience.
Oh,
You'll
that
sit up
sounds
there.
Fantastic.
Absolutely stunning up there. Dins, have you done the high tea yet?
Yeah, no, it's coming up next weekend.
You're taking
Mount Lofty House, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful experience. So just for coming in, you get that. But you're
Thanks,
still in
guys.
the running.
Thank you.
Hey, Sarah and Lee, a lot of fun. Thanks so much.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
thanks for
much.
having us.
Cheers.
This is
Okay.
great.
Yeah, it's been good fun.
The Couples Cup, all thanks to Mount Lofty House. Cozy winter escapes await at Mount Lofty Estate. Warmth, luxury and relaxation. Head to mountloftyhouse.com.au.
If you were listening to the Rush Hour yesterday, you'll know that Bernie Vince is absent and, in fact, will take a couple of weeks off. And it's the very, very sad news that it's the passing of his dad, Tim. Farmer Tim, Triple M's Farmer Tim. And Loz,
Beautiful man.
we're great mates. We go back
Yeah.
many, many, many years. So it's been a couple of tough days. I've shed many, many tears and thought
So
about
sorry,
all of the
Dits.
great times. But one thing, look, sport isn't everything, Loz, and I know that. But I just want to share one quick story that very important
Yeah.
in a town. So, of all the silly and funny things Tim did in his life, and you know he's hilarious whenever he comes on, but
So
I
deeply
love
funny.
this story that years and years ago, the Stansbury, because it's a small town, the cricket club was going to fold. The footy team had already folded. They had to amalgamate with other teams.
Okay.
And Tim said, no, this is too important. This is
Yeah.
our town, and we need our kids to play sport.
Yeah.
So he saved the club basically single-handedly, and they all said, well, we're not good. No, they're all little kids. He said, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
He said, we'll play them and we'll teach them and we'll get them in the nets and we'll train them. And the short version of this story is, I think I'm right with this stat, but they've now played 21 grand finals in a row.
Oh, my God.
Now, it's not about the sport, it's about what it did
Yeah.
for the whole town.
Yeah. And that's how he showed love, was like
Yeah.
just through actions and getting
And
stuff done.
it's been an amazing story, and as I said, it's transformed that town and put them on the map.
Yeah.
Not because of the sport, but because of what it did for the community, and that's the sort of person he was.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's our special tribute. Do we know how many days it is since we've had a drop of rain or not?
I reckon it's sort of getting close to 100.
And what about forecast? Who do you trust? Who do you look at to see when it's going to rain next?
We generally look out to the west, and if there's a big black cloud coming,
Right.
Do you do a rain dance sometimes, Tim? Do you get out in your jocks and sort of get,
No.
Try and summon
you
it.
don't get that desperate?
I have been caught out in my jocks, but not for
How far did that poor bloke ride his push bike along the dirt roads to come and ask your sister out?
Rode his push bike.
How far did he ride his bike?
about 40 k's, and it was 40 degrees.
And what happened when he arrived at the front gate?
Mate, Chris had this big V8 ute, and we were just backing out to go down to the pub because it was a shocking day, hot north wind. And the bull bugger, he had a tailwind coming down, 40-something degrees, and it was just getting hotter. We're just backing out. He was absolutely clagged. He had no water or anything, and he just made it to the gateway. Chris nearly backed over him going out. And he said, "What are you doing here?" Young Bernard Maher was. He's a terrific fella. And he said, "I just come to see your sister." Chris said, "Well, get back on your bike."
You didn't chuck the bike on the back of the ute and give him a lift, did you?
No, and the poor bugger jumped back on his bike and started pedalling into the hot north wind. Yeah, well, he hit the wharf at Murray Bridge. Came in hot. You know, we've had all sorts of problems. And you said that you thought he had his licence. Well, if he's got one, it'd come out of the wheat bitch packet. When we hit the bridge at Murray Bridge.
Hit the bridge at Murray Bridge.
we turned. He said, "There's a fair few expletives." He said, "Right, we're turning for home." I said, "Yeah, we're all happy with that." Oh Jesus! When he turned for home, he put the guns down because he wanted to get back to Wellington for the Port game. And about half time, I said, "What was the rush, Ditz?"
Timmy, you'd be very, very surprised to know that Ditz is actually building a gym at his place at the moment. How much
Did you
work-
say he's got a mate called Jim?
He's got some blokes building a gym at his house. Do you reckon that's going to get much use?
I would think any of you young lads out there looking for a gym, there'll be a cheap one coming up very soon.
It'll be out the front of my house on the footpath in a month.
Good second-hand gym.
Well, what have you auctioned off? What would you know? You're not an auctioneer.
Well, I sold a dog once. I sold a dog was worth about $50 flat out and got 500 for it. two blokes on it. and then I sold a football at PAC. Dr. Codrington, his principal, a very important man, he came out of the toilet. And then he came out, he just gave a bit of a nervous twitch, so I took a bid from him. And I said, was that a bid, Mr. Codrington, or was that a nervous twitch? And he said, I think it was a nervous twitch.
If you could do an advert for the local lads over there, though, tell me what is life like for a young girl that marries a farmer? Some of these remote locations, there wouldn't be work for the female.
It can be tough.
Bit tough. It gets a bit lonely for them, but there's advantages of that. When you come home, they're very pleased to see you.
AFL Hall of Fame night last night in Melbourne. Our very own Roo was there, and it was a great night for South Australia. Roo, good morning.
G'day, Ditch. G'day, Loz. G'day, everyone. How are you all?
Yeah, good.
How you feeling, Roo?
Good. Not too bad. I'm just sitting nude on the couch next to my bed in the hotel room after getting a phone call.
Nice.
Have you been to sleep yet?
Yes, no, I went to bed about 12-ish, so we didn't have it too bad a night. It was
12-ish.
It was a great night. It was a great night and a pleasant surprise. I didn't know who was getting inducted other than Jason Dunstall to legend status, but Chris McDermott, who's been on Triple M a lot lately with all the great charity work that he's done that we've been involved with childhood dementia.
Yeah.
He was my first captain, and for him to get inducted last night was a great pleasure to see. Stephen Kernahan spoke absolutely brilliant about him. They've been great mates since they were 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
He played and coached and captained a couple of premierships at Glenelg, resisted going interstate to play for Melbourne clubs and Brisbane as well. And then when the Crows come in, he said, right, this is the time to go and play VFL, AFL footy. So he was the captain of the Adelaide Crows and was probably the toughest bloke I've ever played with. I think Chris McDermott, I remember one day we were playing Carlton at their home ground and he backed back into a pack and I can still remember the crunch he got hit and I thought he's not getting up for sure. That he will not get up from that. And he just rolled over, got up, walked off and then started jogging and away he went.
God.
Well, that's the sort of standard that you need to be if you're going to play for the Crows. So he was a brilliant captain for me. Another South Australian who would not get off the stage when he got presented was Michael Graham. Just would not stop talking. I was sitting next to Andrew McLeod and he said, he's not going to shut up. They're going to have to drag him off, Michael Graham. But born over at, I think it was Kadina over on the York Peninsula, one of 15 kids. He was one of the second youngest. And he reckons he got his speed from chasing rabbits around the country when he was a young lad. They moved to Penola. He went down to Sturt and got the nickname Flash. They said no one ever caught Michael Graham. He was just absolute speedster and an absolute gentleman as well. And actually went up and played for Wakery after he finished for Sturt for a year. I can still remember as a young kid, Michael Graham running down the Wakery Oval. So he was a great fellow and had told a lot of great yarns about what it was like to be a young Indigenous footballer in South Australia. And he also, in the off-season, he went up and played up in Darwin in the off-season. So he played footy for the SANFL, then went up, played up for St Mary's, I think, in Darwin in the off-season. And he's still playing footy now. He made out he was only 52. I don't know how old Michael Graham is. He must be 60, but he's still playing footy to this day. So
he's 72, Roo. I've just Googled it. Yeah. And he's still playing.
Yeah, he reckons he's got one more game over at Freo. He said,
just one more.
I'm still pretty good, so I better keep going. And Jason Dunstall obviously got inducted as a legend of the game, which I think there's only high 20s of legends in the game. And I've always said to Ditz at times, I reckon Jason Dunstall was probably the smartest person I've met in modern football, in the commentating world. I love listening to him commentate, obviously playing against him. He was a superstar, kicking 1,254 goals. And probably him and Malcolm Blight are the two blokes I've always thought I learnt the most about football. And so for him to get inducted into legend status was no surprise. He universally loved and admired what he did and spoke about that era that he played in with all the great full forwards and compared himself to Ablett and Lockett, and best player he ever stood was Stephen Silvani and guys like that. So fantastic night at the Hall of Fame, guys. Well worth a trip over, and sat next to at Anthony Koutafidis, Chris Judd, Stephen Kernahan and Peter Carey and all the wives on the table. So we had a good night.
Incredible.
Gee, that's not a bad
What a
team just there.
lineup. I know.
Yeah.
You should do a best of like a team for who was there last night.
Yeah. Who'd play centre in that side, Ruth?
Yeah.
Probably Chuck Juddy in there, I think. He can run around. He won a couple of Brownlows.
No, he can play on the wing. You play centre, he can play on the wing. Bunge on the other wing.
All right, get yourself a big greasy breakfast, Rupert, and
right.
enjoy the morning off.
Good on you,
I
mate.
just heard the back end of the Tim Vince tribute, so thanking to Serena and the family there.
Yeah.
So, well done.
Good on you, Roo. Great wrap
See you,
up of the
guys.
night, and a real big night for South Australia. Magnificent stuff.
Triple M breakfast with Blue Dits and Loz.
What a goal! Overnight sports.
Oh, this is great news. Inaugural Crows skipper Chris McDermott's been inducted into the Australian Football Hall of Fame. 2 flags at Glenelg. Was a champion down there before joining the Crows when they first went into the comp. Here's his great mate, Stephen Kernahan.
He's just dominant every game. He got the football so much. He was loyal, hard, great team man. He didn't take the accolades. He made us all look good up forward. Yeah, the way he got the ball too. I can't fault him. I don't reckon he played a bad game in 20 years. I called him that because he had the biggest bone in the world on his face. I've never known a bloke who's bled as much on the footy field to the stage where he could hardly shave, hard as a cat said he was. Great. It was great watching him how hard he went.
He was one of the best, Loz. Great leader, great captain.
And a delightful man who does so much for charity and the Little Heroes Foundation. Why is his nickname Bone because he's hard? Like, was that
and he had this big bone on his head that used to stick out, and that's where sticks first. And they were great mates, and he first coined that phrase. Very sad upbringing for he lost both of his parents when he was 15.
Chris?
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah, and it obviously really rocked him at the time because they went to every single game he watched.
Oh my
they both
God.
had cancer, so he did it hard early on.
Shivers.
And just became an incredible leader, just a great fella.
Sometimes those tragedies can galvanise someone and, make them as awful as
And
it is.
I'd say as a Port Adelaide supporter, he was the one bloke that you really liked in the opposition because you just loved the way he played. Him and Gary McIntosh were the two, I reckon, that they played for the other mob, but you liked them. You just,
Bit of grit.
admired them. Yeah. You admired them.
Yeah.
Anyway, now another one who I grew up watching, Michael Graham. This is magnificent, I reckon. They called him Flash because he was so fast, Loz.
Yep.
Kicked so many goals for the Double Blues, a couple of flags. He won best and fairest. So great to see Michael Graham recognised as well. Dane Swan, Collingwood superstar, he was recognised last night. The big one was Jason Dunstall, elevated to legend status.
It's fantastic. It feels a little bit surreal because you're mixing with the cream of the crop here. There's so many great people at this function.
So Roo was there last night, and he's going to join us a little bit later on and give us a big wrap-up of the night.
Dunstall's average, because how many games did he play?
269.
And he kicked how many goals in that?
1,254.
Unbelievable. 4.66 goals a game on average.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
It really is. That's how good he was.
Because people
Really was.
probably, you hear that number of goals and think, oh, he must have played,
You know what? You
500
also
games.
forget when you see them as commentators and presenters in the media for years and years and years. You do forget a little bit, and then when you read those numbers again, you think, "My God, he was a superstar."
Was it Roo that was out recently and some kid went, I know you.
Yeah.
You're that footy commentator.
You're a commentator, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
in other news, this is great for Port Adelaide. Zach Butters is free to face the Lions this week. He successfully beat the one-game ban last night.
Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I thought he'd get off. Just going on others that we'd seen this year.
Yeah.
So he got off. Meanwhile, Charlie Dixon will fight his 3-week ban, which he copped in the SANFL over the weekend for a bump. Crows CEO Tim Silvers has admitted they are kicking off a performance review right now at the club. And that's probably understandable, Loz.
Yeah.
Probably need to have a look.
On every, just a general
total
performance.
review.
Yeah.
See what's going on down there.
Yep.
And in other sport, the Boston Celtics have won a record 18th NBA championship.
Wow.
They beat the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5. That's our look at sport.
On Triple M, it's time to speak to a sexpert. She knows about relationships, but she also knows Roo from high school.
So, man, I feel uncomfortable talking about your Mark.
Please welcome to Triple M Breakfast, our sassy sexpert, Wala Truscott.
Oh, I'm never going to get used to that opener, Dits.
Trust me, me either.
How are you, Wala?
I'm good.
That's good. You getting a few phone calls from Triple M listeners out there?
Well, since you announced the topic for this week, I certainly did.
Yeah, can you come back from cheating on your partner?
Yeah.
Is something we want to discuss today because it's obviously a topic that happens a fair bit out there in the world. What's your experiences? Can you do it? How do you do it? You know, is it ever the same? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think we also need to determine the differences. Every week I'm always going to say there's levels and there's differences because relationships don't sort of fit into one category.
Yep.
So there's a big difference between a good person that just made a bad choice versus someone who's a bit of a philanderer and that's just, you know, how they roll.
Yep.
So if a good person made a bad choice, you can absolutely repair from that.
Yep.
And it will often bring up conversations that probably should have been had before the bad choice was made.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a sex addict? He just can't stop it or she can't stop dabbling outside the relationship. Can they ever give it up?
Well, that takes a good therapist to help that person.
There's such a thing as sort of sex addiction, isn't there?
If it's interfering with your life and you're not functioning as a human, it's no different to any other addiction. But at the same time, if you just enjoy it, is there such a thing as being addicted to pleasure?
No, I mean, that's exactly right.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it.
But I also think there's a difference between, you know, people poo-poo on saying someone has a porn addiction, but then you've got someone else that's addicted to Pinterest. And so there's no difference to Pinterest porn, it's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Unrealistic expectation on lifestyle versus an unrealistic expectation of what happens in the bedroom.
So with the infidelity question, is there a fear, or I don't know what the right term is, but that it just comes up all the time? So you might be going along, you're forgiven, and then, you know, you go a year or two and everything's okay, and then, I don't know, it just keeps coming up. Do you know what I mean? That can be a burden, can't it?
What keeps coming up, like your... What,
no, the topic.
Pardon the pun.
The topic, you know.
Of wanting... Well, I think what people need to do is redesign their relationship, not the person in it.
So what do you mean by that?
We got to constantly have these conversations. You know, we romanticize relationships, and things happen in our relationships. We have babies, we lose parents, we buy houses, we move houses, and the people in the relationship change. So we have to constantly have different conversations on how to model the relationship, not the people in it.
Fair enough, that makes sense. Now, from your experience, Wyla, do more men cheat than women, or the other way around?
It's definitely the gender gap there is definitely getting closer, a lot closer.
What, it used to be all men, or the other way around?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Like, you think about it before the pill, and there was shotgun marriages.
Yeah.
You know, women didn't earn money. We didn't have as many choices as we have today, and we certainly didn't have a device in our hand either.
So you reckon the women are doing it more now because they've got a job, they're a bit more
independent.
Independent.
Yeah, we have a lot more choices, and the reports say that women actually get bored with sex quicker than men.
Right.
They want more sex, just not the sex that's available.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, come on, wow.
Right.
We're back to the menu, Mark.
Back to the menu
Confuses
again.
you.
Yeah. Stitch is getting hungry
What's on
again.
offer?
All right, Wyla. So
All right.
you can recover from it as long as...
You can recover from it as long as two people take responsibility for repairing the relationship. It's
Right.
not a one-person job to repair the relationship. It's
All
a
right.
dual
All right.
responsibility.
Very good point.
All right, if people want a bit of advice, Wyla, where do they find you?
They can find me at wylatruscott.com.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Wyla.
Thank you. Have a
Speak
good day.
next week.
Bye.
It's 7:42 and you are waking up with Rue, Ditz and Loz on Triple M. In a moment, we'll chat to one of the funniest men we have on the M's, Will Anderson, on the way.
AutoCam, real-time video from Automasters. Triple M's Rumour Mill, Adelaide's most listened to segment. Hear it every day at 7:40 on Rue, Ditz and Loz.
Yeah, rumour this morning. By the way, get involved because you can win $1,000 thanks to Automasters, 133353. Loz, one of our favourite restaurants in Adelaide. And this is iconic. And so many people know it and so many people love this fella. But the maitre d's been sacked. And we don't know why. And we're going to try and get to the bottom of it. And I won't say too much more until we do actually know why and what the reasons are. There must be some good reason behind it. But this fella is loved. And I'm talking just about internationally.
Right.
and he's been shown the door. And it's one of our.
Is it Shock?
It's one of our real favourites. It is. Yeah. I was stunned. I got told yesterday, and just cannot believe it. Could not believe it. And
New
everyone
ownership or same owners or
recent change.
Okay.
But a while ago, but sort of recent.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's sad.
It is sad, and when it comes out, if the story comes out and it breaks, people will sort of be saying, "What the hell happened there?" Because it's much loved and very, very popular place.
No good.
Anyway, if you've got a rumour for us, let us know. 133353.
Yep, you could score $1,000. It's Roo Dits and Loz. Triple M.
Triple M breakfast with Roo Dits and Loz.
Please welcome Will Anderson.
Oh, Drew and Ayers tonight at 8:30 on ABC TV and ABC iView. Will, good morning. Tell us about nabbing our pocket money.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yes. Well, basically, it's a credit card for kids because the one thing we know is kids need a credit card.
Yes.
You know?
Immediately.
You know, you need to be able to put the money for their chores straight into their credit card so they can use their credit card. I mean, obviously, with my kids, I put it straight into their sports bet account. I mean, obviously, that's the responsible thing that you got to do with them. But if you don't feel like doing that, you can now get a credit card from a place called Spriggy, which is basically an app that is backed by the NAB. So this is basically the newest version of the Dolomites account, because what these big organisations have realised, and I'm one of these people, is if they start you out as a kid, most people end up staying with the exact same bank for the rest of their life.
Yeah. But the thing is, we will be cashless. We are just about cashless.
Yeah.
So it actually, I'm trying to see the... Yeah, I'm saying, no, this is wrong. They have a credit card, but none of us have cash anymore. And that's what kids, that's all they'll know. Sure.
I know. We're all like Australian gangsters now. No cash here.
No cash. Yeah, no cash.
Yeah.
I got a Commonwealth Bank account, I think, when I was like 7 with school. They just signed us.
Dolomites.
Dolomites. Someone came into our school. It was a bit sort of almost like post-apocalyptic, like someone in a suit came in and went, "You now are with us," and we all signed up, and I still use that exact the same BSB and account number for 30 years. So I just aged myself 25 years.
I'm exactly the same, mate. I have my same account, and by the way, this is my password, so people can hack me.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, what's going on with Allianz?
Well, they've made this new ad around the Olympics, so I don't know if you know this, but it's only about 40 days until the Olympics start. Of course, they can't use Olympic footage, but it is trying to tap into the idea of Australians cheering for Australia in the Olympics. One of our guests says that it's an advertisement that gives them goosebumps, although for me, I have a problem with the ad because there's a whole bunch of people cheering on Australia in sport, and they keep yelling out, "Go Australia, go Australia," and I'm like... Do we ever yell out "Go Australia"? Do we ever use the full name in those situations?
It's like,
"Come on Aussie, go Aussie, come on Oz."
Exactly.
It's never, "Come on citizens of Australia, do your best."
That's right.
Perform well, Australia. Yeah. So why can't they use vision from the Olympics? Question without notice.
Ownership rights.
Ownership rights.
No, very strict.
You'll find this, Loz, during the Olympics itself, where suddenly there's people outside radio and television studios with stopwatches and guns, making sure that you don't use more than 20 seconds at the Olympics.
Now, here's a fact for you. I worked for Channel 7 on the 2000 Olympics, and I met this young lad, as you do in the compound. What's your job? He sat in a room for 14 days and timed every other network, had to time their news services and their vision. And it was his job, Will, to then go and go to our boss and go, "They use too much vision. They were 3 seconds over."
And what happens if you're over?
Well, you get fined and all sorts of things,
Yeah, it's one of the, it's a huge branding exercise, obviously, the Olympics. And the Olympics brand, those iconic rings are one of the most protected brands in the entire world, is almost as recognisable as the McDonald's arches. So the great thing is in the next few weeks, what we'll see is all the official Olympic sponsors will roll out their ads, but also you'll find the people who sponsor the athletes who are competing at the Olympics but aren't the official sponsors will also be making ads, but they'll just be alluding to or hinting to, there seems to be something going the murmurs.
You could help us on Gruen. 4 years ago, I remember we had to come up with all sorts of creative ways. We had to say those summer games that are happening over in that country, or we had to call that carnival, the sports carnival that's taking place on the other side of the world. We weren't allowed to actually say Olympic Games. Can you? It's ridiculous.
Like Sapsar's a bit bigger.
You just have to hint at what's going on. We all know what we're talking about, right?
Wink.
Did you watch the swimming races last night? Yeah.
Are the games in the room with us now?
Now, tell us about your pitch tonight, Will.
This is incredible. So the pitch to the agencies was to make an ad to get us to have compulsory organ donation rather than just voluntary.
Yeah.
And look, the first ad is fantastic. It's funny. It's clever. But the second one is powerful in a way that if it wasn't an ad that was made for our show, it would be an ad that we were talking about on our show. It's honestly incredible, and I actually think it might change some people's minds.
All right, make sure we check it out. Hey, Will, thanks for joining us. Gruen airs tonight, 8:30pm on ABC and ABC iView.
Thank you.
Good on you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
mate.
Too easy.
See ya.
Thank you.
See you, mate. Chat soon. Bye.